All right, so Mythos, Fable just came out, Fable maybe in English, just came out, and what we're going to do is we're going to do a deep dive into what it means from a cybersecurity point of view for your company. My name is Julian. I come from a cybersecurity background for more than 15 years, and I've been doing this for some of the biggest industries in Europe. Considering you can still think I worked with the European Space Agency, for example, and the European Commission, many different entities. What I'm going to do is we're going to go through the government cycle of what it means to actually have this kind of model come out and what it means for your company. So Mythos, just so you know, so Mythos, Fable, are roughly the same model. And the first thing we need to consider is that how long does a model stay public without being broken? So if you remember in the past, we had something called the jailbreak for the older people. We had jailbreaks for the iPhone, which allowed you to use the iPhone however you want it, install any apps. Well, the world of the AI is actually exactly the same. We have some security researchers that are actually posting things on the internet and sharing how they hack the model, and this is the fun challenge. And usually a model lasts roughly between 2 to 4 days, a week maximum. I've mostly seen 2 days, if not 4 hours. So right now, we have this amazing guy on the internet who does this, which is called Plenus. Right? So I will put the hashtag somewhere. But what he does, he actually researches all these kind of models and he breaks them, jailbreak them. What it means is basically can ask the AI to do almost anything he wants. So from a security point of view, for your company, it means like some of the strongest model available today, well, anyone can actually use it to do bad things, right? So we're gonna think about what it means for your business right now. So theoretically, if you have a business, what you are interested in is the cyber risk analysis. You want to understand how risky it is to have someone potentially attacking your system. So for this, we have multiple methodologies. Some of the most famous ones are ISO 27005. We have EBIOS, which is a French one, which is really used at the EU level. And these are some of the main ones. There are plenty of others. You have some from the NIST, you have some from different entities. Honestly, they are roughly all doing the same thing. And what we are really interested in is a specific variable in this risk methodology, which is called the threat actors. So the threat actors, TA, usually according to the size of your business, you're gonna take some into consideration and you're gonna remove some. Let's say today you want to think about how a big country, and I want this to be completely apolitical, so I'm not gonna name any, but you can imagine any of the big countries with like big cybersecurity potentials and capabilities. Well, if the big country wants to attack you, honestly, according to the size of your company, well, you won't be able to do much, right? If the US, China, Russia wants to actually cyber attack one of your company, good luck countering it. So obviously they have like really specific capabilities, such as like secret capabilities. Like if you think about MI6, if you think about all these secret capabilities, well, you know, you have a big chunk of it is human based. So we are gonna remove this part from our risk analysis, and we're gonna look into something that now becomes a topic, which is the cyber capabilities, right? So you have the best hacker in the world that can actually exploit any system because they have a collection of vulnerabilities that are not displayed to the public, and they can exploit them to actually enter into the system. So this is the most important thing that that's changing right now with this new AI model, is that the cyber capabilities, the cyber attacks, the cost of actually doing it. Well, right now you don't need to be a big country anymore. What you need is a good AI model that is able to actually do cyber attacks. This is exactly what it is good for, this new model. So I know some of you are still thinking, yeah, this is a hype, this is marketing and everything. I've done some research about this, and if you look at one specific company, which is called Firefox, so Firefox is a web browser for those who don't know, they have released patches for their vulnerabilities that are, I think they were at a rhythm of 50, 60 per month for a long time. And I think in the month of April, they released like more than 600 or something like this, which basically is a clear sign that the mythos is actually something that is working and that is helping people find vulnerabilities. And you can think from, yeah, it's hype, it's everything. Look at the numbers of vulnerabilities that are being fixed and patched for the different kind of companies. This is your metric, this is where you will see the truth. You won't get it just by like searching random thing on the internet or having opinion from people. Just look at the valuable data. So this is not hype. And what we want to do is actually consider, what does it mean? What it means that for your company, you have some big things that may come up really soon. Because for most companies, one of the big risks was human-based, right? So you all know the phishing techniques. You go to the weakest link of your company. This is like basic stuff, standard stuff in cybersecurity, where you're gonna like look at watch Mr. Robot. You have like a couple of examples. Obviously, everything is some of it are a bit far-fetched, but usually it's actually not quite bad. And you will see that many capabilities come from human issues, which is changing right now. Because from the moment you have like multiple vulnerabilities that have not been discovered before and that can provide access to your system quite easily without forcing just over the internet, then you have a massive issue. So what do we do with that? Because, okay, great, you've established the problem and everything. The question is, what do we do? So for this, we're gonna think, and we're gonna think in terms of processes and what you need to implement. First of all, let's not panic. If you're panicking, you're gonna make mistakes. There is actually a story about this in 2016, I believe, more or less. We had two cyber attacks called Spectre and Meltdown that honestly shook the internet in so many ways. And what happened is like there was these really big dangerous vulnerabilities, I'm not going to step into the detail, that could honestly have broken a lot of systems, almost all the systems in the world. And what we did in the past, there was like some kind of panics and everyone starting patching. Patching means you actually take it to the next level. You basically apply a cybersecurity fix to the vulnerability we've just discovered. And the thing is, if you don't do this right, while you will do exactly what happened during this kind of during these two cyber attacks, is mean you're gonna patch too fast, and then you're gonna break your operation system. So whatever you have in your system, whether it's you're a small company and we're talking about emails and stuff like this, or if you're an industrial environment where you have machineries and so on, well, if you stop the production line, this is quite a big deal. So the interesting thing is having the process, the right process in place to actually deal with these kind of things. But for this, you actually need to know your environment. What does that mean? It means that we need an inventory. I know it sounds obvious. I've seen it almost nowhere. A proper inventory, something properly managed, where you have the name, the versioning, the versions of your systems, the different softwares and everything. You want an inventory of everything. And I'm even gonna be even more demanding, being like up to date. This is the first step. The second step is you need to have a proper implementation, like patch management system. So why do we want a patch management? Because we want to, in case a vulnerability comes out and some part of our system, of our inventory is actually impacted, then we want to know how to fix this thing, but doing it properly. So usually what it means, okay, there is a new patch, a new update. I'm gonna do a test in the environment and be like, okay, well, look at this. This needs to be properly implemented. Let's test. Oh, it breaks my system, so I'm not gonna put it in production, right? I know it sounds obvious. Almost no one does it properly, at least. Then we have the production environment. So we go, we test the thing. If it works, we do the production environment. Obviously, in your testing, you have a proper proper test cases. So you have plenty of ways to design proper test. The things you might forget are the daily basis operation. There are plenty of use case to think through. What you want to not forget is urgency. Yeah, okay, let's say, I don't know, you have a system and the patch actually involves the safety system. I don't know, you have a big machine. Oh, you press the button, stop, because some guy has an arm in a super dangerous machine, and because of the update, the stop button doesn't work. So this is a bit over-exaggerated, but it happens. So urgencies, maintenance, all this cycle that appears rarely or not so often, well, you need to take them into consideration. All right. So this is roughly everything that we need at the beginning, like the proper standards and how to implement this. But then, with such an AI capabilities coming in, we have another issue, meaning that all the cybersecurity vulnerabilities that will appear, well, they're gonna ring everywhere. You can imagine that whatever you're monitoring, you can imagine your screen. Your screen will be everything in red and with alarms everywhere. And the thing is, this will happen because the vulnerability will not take into consideration your entire context. It will not take your environment. It will not consider like that your company is actually doing something completely offline, but it will know, right? So it will know the vulnerabilities, but it will not know the context, right? In cybersecurity, we implement something that we call defense in depth. And this basically tells you that you have some kind of hamburgers of cybersecurity measures. So you have the first layers, you have the tomato, you have the salad, you have the meat, and you have the other part of the bun. Each of these steps is something that we implement in our cybersecurity measures. Like your cybersecurity team, they will have thought about this. The vulnerability, one of these alarms, they will pop up here, for example. So yes, this is super dangerous, but is it a priority? Is it the first thing you need to patch? Well, no, because it's properly secured by the bun, by the salad, by everything, right? So what you want to avoid is panicking again. So the next step is then, okay, we have our architecture, we know our system, and we will have these alarms a bit everywhere, and then how do we know which one do we prioritize? Prioritization in risk management is super important. You won't be able to do everything in one shot. This is impossible, or unless you have like unlimited budget. And I mean unlimited budget and the right people and the right resources and so on. So what you need is a proper risk analysis. This is super mandatory because it will help you put the priority in the right place. And I've seen this lacking in so many places, and this is, especially for the C-level, this is how you manage your cybersecurity in a fashion that is understandable for you. It needs to be updated, it needs to be measured and governed, and this will help you prioritize all of these things and make sure that, hey, wait, we don't have the inventory. This happens so much, you have no idea. All right, well, maybe the priority is first. Before like going through the alarms, we're like, let's do the inventory. Let's do the basic first. Just so you know how much this is important, one of the biggest cybersecurity firm, like product cybersecurity something, I had an interview with them and they gave me the job just because I had this answer. If you can remember this part, if you know that this is your focus right now, then you can skip the video, it's okay. So once you have your risk analysis, you will be able to do to understand your architecture, your priorities, and basically how to prioritize all of these vulnerabilities that are coming out. And you will see that this analysis will actually ask you so an inventory and an architecture. So with this in mind, you will be able to control and understand exactly what's going to happen with methods. And I'm enforcing this right now because we have such capabilities that are becoming available to many, many people. And if you think like jailbreaking and breaking an AI to actually do bad things is complicated, you're mistaken. This is one of the first videos that I'm doing about this kind of topic, how to manage AI security. There are so many things that I could cover. So I wanted to start with this. Well, I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, please shoot them. I will share this on the different social media. Thank you for listening.